What is up, Pal Fam, and welcome to day 29 of Countdown to FIDE 100. My name is Paul Emmanuel Habaradas, aka Paul POW, and it's the I don't know what I'm saying. I didn't have my intro anyway. So, this is a game between Mikhail Botvinnik, as you may have known by now, and Paul Keres. Still don't know what's the right pronunciation. We're just 72 days to go, and FIDE turns 100. But anyway, I'm just like very like I'm trying this to not get late because it's been already that late on my own. Wait. Oh yeah. Okay. Let's just get started. So Botvinnik starts with d4, and Keres goes knight f6, and it goes with c4, e6, knight c3, d5 as usual. And with this exchange, and then bishop g5, bishop e7, e3, castles, bishop d3, knight bd7, and queen c2. I think it's all been readying up for this thing. And then let's proceed with rook e8, knight ge2, knight f8, castles, c6, rook ab1, king, bishop d6, and king h1. I think it's a bit unnecessary for that king h1, but he also had, I think he has plans as well on this, but it's gonna be taken by this and something like that. After, hold up. After bishop d6, the better one is h3 and h6, and then bishop f4, and then they exchange knight e6, knight takes, bishop takes, and rook fc1. Then the position is equal. There's no much bishop pair about this, but it's a big calculation, as we can see. Going back with king h1, Paul made a mistake with knight g6. So terrible. Apparently this one was wrong. I made a mistake. Yeah, knight g6. Yeah, I've been knowing about this thing all the time. With this knights on f6 and g6. But to avoid that, it could have been done h6 and bishop h4, bishop d7, rook bc1, rook c8, h3, queen e7, a3, rook c d8. Still, the position will go equal after all. But with this knight c6, knight g6 rather, f3 makes Mikhail's position in a slight advantage. Then goes bishop e7, rook b e1, and knight d7, threatening this. Wow. But the better one is bishop e6, king g1, rook c8, rook d1, bishop d7, knight g3, queen c7, rook fe1, and bishop d6. Still, the position will go equal, but it can probably go knight f1 to avoid with this. Now, going back with knight d7, Mikhail had still a slight advantage after the exchange. Knight g3, knight f6, queen f2, and Paul, not me, not Paul that I'm talking. It's actually Paul Keres. Bishop e6 made a mistake. Instead, there could have been bishop e7, e4, d takes, f takes, knight g4, queen g1, bishop e6, h3, and knight 4 e5, and wait, knight 4 e5, that's, oh, because takes and there's queen, probably like there. Let's go back with bishop e6. However, Mikhail made a mistake with knight f5 as well. So it could have been f4, bishop c8, f5, knight f8, e4, d takes, knight g takes e4, knight takes, and rook takes e4. And white's position is better in this variation. But if I was thinking knight to knight to e4. I think it's gonna go like here, but that blocks the bishop. And then goes to go for that. And then I can say that the rook can probably go here to make this bishop go out with this diagonal, I can for sure really say. Okay, going back with knight f5. There's bishop takes f5. But after rook e8, g4 and h6, rook g1 and a5, a3 and a4, h4, knight h7, h5, and bishop takes f5. Yes, the position goes equal still. Moving on. So the exchange, and then queen b6. It seems fine after all, but the better is knight f8, e4, g6, bishop h3, knight e6, g3, queen b6, rook d1, knight g7, and e5. So I can say probably I go here, but it goes like back there. I don't know what's the point of this because you're gonna lose a piece. Probably like there. But what was I thinking about? Like this and then knight. And rook. That should work. Going back with queen b6, then there's e4 and then the exchange. Before the exchange, it could have been with knight f8 and then e5, knight 6 d7, f4, rook a e8, bishop, knight f5, and knight takes e5, and white's position is going to be in a slight advantage. And if tries to take it, I think it's gonna like takes, and then exchange. So, and probably like rook. That should work. And this pawn is going to ready up for promotion. This d takes e4 goes with the exchange with f takes e4 and then rook d8, e5, knight d5, knight e4, and Paul Keres made a mistake again with knight f8. What just happened? What if it's h6, h4, a6, a3, queen c7, queen g3, knight takes, d takes, and queen takes e5. I was like confused. But if you did like exchange, he cannot. It's bad. I think it's terrible. Gonna go for this, but it's also bad for white because he lose a piece, and it's gonna be like equal, and probably this is black's major side, and maybe a pass pawn. Yeah. Going back with knight f8, a mistake of knight f8. White's position is better with knight d6, queen c7, bishop e4, knight e6, queen h4, and g6. Another mistake that causes it all. It could have been done with h6, knight f5, knight g5, bishop takes, c takes, queen g3, king h7, rook c1, and queen d7, and white could have been stayed better in this position and not losing on a really losing side. Going back with g6, then there goes bishop takes d5, and seeing those, there goes c takes d5, rook c1, queen d7, rook c3, rook f8, knight f5, rook fe8. Wow. Never expected that if he goes here, like, go probably here. And then I try to sacrifice, it's going to take it, and then, yeah. So instead of taking this free rook, he goes to knight h6, and then king f8, queen f6, knight g7, rook cf3, rook c8, knight takes, rook e6, queen g5, knight f5, knight h6, queen g7, and g4. It's done. This knight is gonna be gone on the next move because of a check. So Paul Keres resigned, but if it's wait, and g4, queen e7, rook takes, king e8, queen takes, rook f8, king d7, e6. That would have been the game continuation if Paul Keres didn't resign about that. Well, we're now closing up in this 20s. Thank you so much for watching, POW fam. Be sure to subscribe and become a Patreon member at patreon.com/PaulPower. Subscribe to my vlog channel, POW Vlogs. Follow me on Twitch, Paul Habaradas, X Paul Habaradas, TikTok Paul Habaradas, Instagram Paul Power YT, and Threads Paul Power YT, as well as Facebook Paul Power YT. Don't If you want to hang out with me, join the Discord community and get 20% off when you buy any plan on Chess Mood. But when you click the link in the description. And as always, I'll see you tomorrow for the countdown to FIDE 100.